Everyone, welcome into another episode of the Spoiler Alert Podcast, episode 24, and we are just ramping up in the heat of the summer. It was fucking 107 degrees today here in Austin, Texas, which is horrible, but we get movies, and that is all that matters. We saw Mission Impossible, Dead Reckoning this week, and now we got Oppenheimer and Barbenheimer coming this week, so we'll be seeing those. I know for sure I'll be seeing Barbie. Ty, it sounds like you're hitting both of them, and then I gotta get my tickets to Oppenheimer.
I can't wait. I think both are getting really good reviews, so that's like a really good sign. I'm excited. I'm definitely gonna see both this weekend. I can't wait.
Yeah, I think this might be the peak. This might peak for the year, and then you get a slight downturn. You get what?
Yeah.
Haunted Mansion.
I know we have Talk to Me next week too. I'm excited for that one. That seems like it's supposed to be pretty good too. It's getting pretty good reviews.
We need a good horror.
Definitely.
What do we have? We had Scream, and Scream kind of took that top spot, and really nothing has really taken it. I guess Infinity Pool, does that count as horror?
I don't even know. Maybe.
I feel like
kind of psychological. I guess.
I mean, it was pretty fucked up.
It was. I just watched it the other day for the third or fourth time. I love that movie still.
I skimmed through. Remember that Black Demon movie we were talking about with the shark?
No.
We talked about it like a few episodes ago. It was like some shitty B movie, basically, like a shitty Jaws, where people are stuck on an oil pipipeline.
Yeah.
Shark. I skimmed through it. I'm like, I gotta know. And so like it was pretty bad. You barely see the shark, and that's the only thing I care to see. I don't give a shit about anyone else. Show me the shark.
Oh yeah.
But like the first time you see it fully, there's just some dude trying to escape on like a little dinghy boat, and the shark just comes up and rips him. But it looked awful. It was not good. But yeah, so don't see that one.
What did I just watch? I don't know. I was gonna watch that one that you told me was a sequel, and I decided not to watch it.
Right. Yeah, I never heard of that movie, and then when I brought it up on IMDb, it said it followed some other movie, which I guess it's the same name.
Something about Mary or whatever the hell.
Crazy. Oh, I thought it was like Psycho Jane or something.
Yeah, it was something like that. Yeah. I can't even remember now.
Let's see if you sent me The Wrath of Becky.
That was it, Wrath of Becky.
And I think the one before it, I think it was just
called Becky. Yeah.
Random ass people in that.
Super random. I was just looking at the next like big movie that would be coming out this year, and like honestly, there's really nothing big until like Killers of the Flower Moon in October.
There is not much remaining, which is a little sad. But again, at the same time, we don't really know. There might be some random movie that's just really good.
Oh, for sure. There usually is. Like, we got Killers of the Flower Moon and Dune 2, I would say, are probably two of the biggest movies left for the year.
Oh, man. Saw 10, though.
A Figly Christmas.
Yeah. Dude. Yeah. I don't see the Marvels or Craven doing very well.
Craven is going to do so bad.
Napoleon.
So is Blue Beetle.
Yeah, Blue Beetle. Never even heard of that fucker. The hell was Godzilla -1?
I think it's. I saw an ad for that. I don't know. Is it anime?
Like a legitimate? No, it looks like a real one.
Do you see the movie right underneath that one?
Let me see. Fuck them all. Yeah. No, it's all right. It's a ballet. There's an Animal Crossing movie. What are we doing? With Larry the Cable Guy?
Okay. What?
All right. Let's.
Is Larry the Cable Guy just Tom Nook?
Yeah, he's just give me your money. Fuck that.
That's hilarious.
All right, so let's get into the movies that are coming out this week. The two big ones that I don't think we have to talk too much about because we'll be reviewing them next week. Oppenheimer, story of the American scientist J. Robert Oppenheimer and his role in the development of the atomic bomb. Christopher Nolan is really a bunch of fantastic actors in this one, already getting insanely high reviews. I mean, you can expect the world for this movie. I've was a little disappointed in Nolan's last film, Tenet.
Hmm.
Um, but it sounds like he's coming back with a vengeance with this one.
Yeah, they're saying this is his highest rated film so far to date, so that's crazy. It's
That is wild.
high remarks for him.
And then of course Barbie. Barbie suffers a crisis that leads her to question her world and her existence. It just sounds fun and silly.
It does.
You can't expect too much, I think, from this movie, as long as it's exciting, and funny, witty. That's good enough for me.
I'll be happy with it. Bunch of good looking people in it, Margot
Yeah,
Robbie, Ryan Gosling, Dua Lipa, John
yeah.
Cena.
Will Ferrell,
Yeah.
yeah,
Michael Cera.
yeah. Michael Cera, the usual. So let's get into a couple movies that are also coming out that are gonna get crushed because no one's gonna see them because they're seeing Barbenheimer. But two of them, this first one looks a little interesting, called Cobweb. Another horror,
Oh,
so maybe this one will be okay. Um, but horror strikes when an 8-year-old boy named Peter tries to investigate the mysterious knocking noises that are coming from inside the walls of his house. And there's a dark secret that his sinister parents kept hidden from him. So this is Anthony Starr, fucking Homelander, is
no
in
way. That's
this.
awesome.
So
It's
cool. That's a pretty good start.
playing at one theater near me,
Yeah.
which is shocking, honestly.
Well, it's probably because the other people starring it is the Busey family, Gary Busey's wife and son. Uh,
What?
they are in that. I'm like, oh, Busey, is that like Gary Busey? And yes, it is.
I thought he like lost his mind and was just a nutcase. I didn't, let alone knew he had a wife
That's
and all that still.
that's probably why he's not in it, and just they are. But it's the what did it say? Producers of Barbarian, which that might
Ah,
mean it's pretty wild.
it might
Um,
be crazy, like some kind of twisty movie. I like Anthony Starr though a lot, and that Lizzie Kaplan's been in a lot of stuff.
yeah. So that has a chance. 59 out of 100 on Metacritic. So we'll see. We'll see.
I'd watch it. I'll throw it
Yeah.
on. I'll stream it.
These horror films are usually, you give them, I usually give them like 30 to 45 minutes. If it doesn't capture me by then, I'm out.
Yeah,
It's like, I'm
yeah.
not going to waste my time.
If it's too stupid, I just won't continue watching it. But like most horror movies, I'll just throw on in the evening and just like watch it through.
And what's nice is they're usually not super long.
Yeah, this is only what, an hour and 28 minutes. That's not bad at
Yeah,
all,
exactly. And that's how they should be, I think.
for sure.
So another horror movie coming out as well, Mother May I, when Anya starts behaving like her recently deceased mother, Emmett must confront his deepest traumas to free his fiancee from this bewildering possession. Kind of sounds like Hereditary.
Kinda, yeah.
But this is Kyle Gallner, who was in Scream and Smile.
Okay.
You'll recognize the face. I always see his face, and I never connect the name at all.
Yeah, yeah, he does
I'm
look
like, why do I
familiar.
know you? But he also kind of looks like oh boy, I don't remember his name, but the guy from The Bear.
Oh, yeah, yeah, a little bit.
Oh, that's who I kind of see, and it's probably the last name too, the Gallagher, because he was in Shameless.
Yeah, yeah.
But all you really need to know about this movie is that the writer and director, he wrote a movie called Porno. So
Oh, okay.
that's all you need to know.
I feel like I've seen that movie before.
I've seen a few of them. Yeah. But that's pretty much it. The other two, wait for them to stream, but go to the movies for Barbenheimer.
Barbenheimer is gonna be crazy.
Wow.
It sucks because there's like 14 70 millimeter IMAX theaters in the entire country, and that's the way Nolan intended it to be watched. It's like,
Yeah,
dude, what are we doing?
that's what Tarantino uses that a lot.
Yeah. So it's like even if I wanted to go watch it in the exact format, I can't.
Is
And all the other
Bloodshot out?
IMAXs are just like it's they have an IMAX, it's just not 70 millimeter IMAX.
Oppenheimer. Oh wow, the first thing IMAX at San Antonio and Dallas for me.
Yeah, I
San
did look at other
Antonio
showtimes.
IMAX sucks ass, is what everyone's saying.
Yeah, like some of the IMAXs are just really big screens and like not optimized like actual IMAX. It's weird.
Yeah, that's a shame.
There's like a whole website called like LIMAX or something like that. You can find out if your IMAX is like a real IMAX. I don't know. It's big conspiracy, actually, I think.
Yeah, they just put the name IMAX and everyone's like, "Ooh, pretty."
Yeah.
That's how
So now
Avatar did so well.
I'm gonna have to see I'm gonna have to Avatar. I'm gonna have to see Oppenheimer at fucking South Pike. Christopher Nolan would throw up if he had to watch his movie at
Fucking
South Pike.
rip off.
I can't disparage him though. That's my home theater.
That's right. Get the get the meal deal. All right, so got a few things for the news here, Ty. Some of them a little upsetting from what I can see, but what's going on?
They all did just come up today too, because there was literally nothing as I was getting ready for the podcast. I could not see a single thing to even talk about. But then I saw a couple things. So here we go. I guess we're getting a Lord of the Rings anime movie.
Hmm.
So Warner Bros. Is doing a Lord of the Rings: The War of Rohirrim, and it's releasing April 12th in 2024. So it was debuted at a panel in some film festival in France. I don't even know how to begin to say
They
that.
have so many.
Yeah, I'm like losing track of all of them now. There's like literally just a film festival every other week, seems like. But they wanted to tell a complete story that was separate from either of the trilogies, and a story without the direct influence of the Ring or the Shadow of Sauron. So it's about the failure of Helm Hammerhand.
Mm.
Helm Hammer. That's really tough to say.
Helm Hammerhand, Helm
I nailed that in the first try,
Hammerhand.
but the war that results from it and the characters who stepped up in the wreckage. So yeah, there also may be a character or two we recognize from the live action films. So I mean, I really like the first trilogy, obviously, but I don't really consider myself a huge like Lord of the Rings guy or J.R.R. Tolkien guy, you know. So this isn't really on my watch list, I don't think, but you know, it's cool, I guess. What else here? Done a couple things, but we do have with SAG-AFTRA striking, there are still 39 indie projects that are able to shoot during the strike, including two new A24 films. So pretty much, if an indie production company is willing to meet the demands of the actors, then they'll do the project and leave the big budget companies with nothing. So A24 is not part of the Alliance of Motion Picture and Television Producers. So this one A24 movie is called Death of a Unicorn. It's starring Paul Rudd and Jenna Ortega, and it's a dark comedy about a father and daughter whose accidental crash into a unicorn leads to a battle against the odds. So that sounds absolutely wild. I'm in for that. That sounds crazy. A24 and then Paul Rudd and Jenna Ortega just running over unicorns. And then the other films that some of them coming out, notable ones. That's the one we talked about before with Matthew McConaughey. It's The Rivals of Amzia King, Amziah, whatever, however the hell you say his name. Flight Risk, starring Mark Wahlberg and directed by Mel Gibson. Dust Bunny, starring Mads Mikkelsen and Sigourney Weaver. Bride Hard with Rebel Wilson, and The Chosen, a TV series about the life of Jesus. So
Oh, I'm looking
be on the
along
lookout for
life.
those because they'll still be coming out, even though we won't be getting much of anything else.
We fucking know the story of Jesus enough already.
Yeah, right.
Like,
And then like Bride Hard with Rebel Wilson. Haven't we seen her in like 18 movies where she's like a
yeah.
bridesmaid?
Well, I think she's skinny now, so they kind of want to show that
So now,
off.
now she's the bride, not the
That's
bridesmaid.
right. That's
There
right.
you go.
That's what you got to do. Drop those pounds.
And now the one that's kind of a bummer is that Netflix reports blockbuster earnings as password sharing crackdown leads to 5.9 million new subscribers.
What are we
So pretty
doing,
much
people?
just fuck us, I guess. We're just fucked because they're
Yeah.
gonna start raising the prices again. We can't share the passwords. It's all a big shit show.
I blame the people who are doing that. You're just dumb.
Oh yeah.
And I haven't had that problem. Have you?
No, I still haven't had that problem either. So I don't know what's up with that.
Yeah. There might be some little bit of fraud going on here. Allegedly. Allegedly. I'm not actually saying that, but
Yeah,
it
it's
sounds
very
like
weird that it
nonsense to
hasn't.
me.
Yeah, why haven't we gone hit with it yet?
Yeah.
Maybe because they know we're hit podcasters.
That's right. They're like, they'll fucking shit on us. I'm like, damn right we will.
Goddamn bastards! I'll find a way around it anyway.
Yeah, we know our ways.
We have our ways, believe me.
Dana White couldn't stop us, neither can Netflix.
No, good luck.
Cool, cool. Anything else there, Ty?
Whoops, sorry. I had to take a sip of water muted. But
No,
no,
you
that's pretty much it. There's not a lot going on with the whole strike and everything going on. So,
yeah.
oh, I
Well
do just
then,
see on my Netflix it's on in the background. They Clone Tyrone is coming out on Friday.
that
It's
might be
supposed to actually be pretty funny.
something to throw on. Yeah.
They Clone Tyrone.
Clone Tyrant. Catchy name.
Cool poster. Kind of looks like an Animorph. One of those Animorph books.
Yeah, the Animorph. Yeah, that's good. No one's even named Tyrone.
What the fuck?
You can't do that.
No Tyrone, but there is a yo-yo.
There's a yo-yo. I played someone named Yo-Yo in a play in college.
There you go.
Split Ends, DJ Strangelove, not Doctor. That's a movie.
Doctor
Riri,
Strangelove.
just scientist.
Look
There
at
is
that
no.
guy. Look at that guy that plays the scientist, Robert Tinsley. That dude looks like fucking
Scientist.
Frankenstein.
Oh boy,
What the hell? That's unfortunate.
that's what kind of scientist he is. He was
He.
in Avengers Endgame.
Wait a minute. What are these zombie movies he's in? Is this that one that we talked about?
No way.
No. He's
What's
just
it
like
called?
standing as a background in a zombie movie.
Ms. Marvel. Oh, he's just a background person in a bunch of Marvel movies.
That's kind of wild.
And he's uncredited in all of them. Dude, get your credits.
I mean, technically, could anybody not just say that they're uncredited in a role for Marvel too? Like, I'm also uncredited in a Marvel movie.
Yeah, I'm there somewhere. I was on Earth. You know that
I got
big shot
snapped
of
back
Earth
into
they show?
place.
I was there.
I came in those portals.
Yeah, I
It
helped
looks like
Thor.
it's Walking Dead is what he was in here. I
That's not
guess
much
'cause I
better.
saw the dude with the leather jacket on.
Oh, it's
Whatever
not
the
even the
hell.
real one. It's Tales of the Walking Dead.
Jeez. Well, he's scary looking. He looks like kind of like an AI robot or
Yeah.
Frankenstein.
Oh, oh man, why can't I think of that name?
He's in Haunted Mansion too, coming up uncredited.
He just pops into shit. He was in
He's,
Shazam.
all of his roles are uncredited, but why are they on his IMDb then?
You think he makes a decent amount of money?
I don't know. Maybe like if he's in like the guild, maybe he gets like whatever the minimum is.
And he's just in everything.
Yeah.
I mean, he has 55 credits. Like that's pretty good.
He, I don't think there's no way he's making a lot of money. I think he did this IMDb page himself and he just recorded on
That
his
could
phone
be.
that he's in on shows and shit.
He takes a picture of the scenes he's in, just of the TV, doesn't even screenshot. He's like, that's me. He is. He's in fucking everything.
Yeah,
Oh,
just
he's done
uncredited.
stunt work too.
That might be
He,
worth a watch. Just watch this dude hurl himself down a flight of stairs or something.
he did stunts for Endgame and Jungle Cruise. Oh fuck, he
Wow.
has his demo reel up.
No
For
way.
dude, it's a demo reel. It's a 5-second demo reel of when he was in the background for. Okay, yeah, he definitely runs his own thing.
I feel like he's somehow gonna know that we're talking about him and catch on to
Bring him
this
in.
somehow.
Oh,
Like
dude,
that dude.
he's fucking huge. He's 6'5".
We should quit talking that shit. Then he might slap us
He's
around a
gonna
little
come
bit.
get us.
Oh my god. I mean, he's been in like a lot of big movies, just uncredited in the
Holy
background.
shit.
So like they must have gave him like I don't know, $10.
Holy shit. Ty, I was joking about the screen recording thing. He's actually doing that. That is exactly what's happening. It is he's recording a screen with his phone and then pointing to himself.
That is so funny.
Oh my god, that's fantastic. All
I
right, well,
just like half the fun of the podcast is just stumbling across all this shit on IMDb when we talk about stuff.
dude, shout out to Robert Tinsley if you want to come on the show. He's just
Bobby.
pointing into himself as one of the skinwalkers on fucking Walking Dead.
I went to his contact info, but I guess you have to have IMDb Pro.
Yeah.
Damn it.
Oh, that's so good.
I feel like he's got to have like an Instagram or Twitter or something. Maybe I should reach out.
Yeah, bring him in. You're like, so how the hell are you in all these movies? My first question. Holy crap, he's on the Marvel Cinematic Universe wiki.
There he is.
Dude,
He wrote this himself. He had to have wrote this himself.
it's like, this is me. Oh yeah, he just took a selfie. That's fantastic. I mean, good for him putting in the work.
Hell yeah, it's awesome. He's been, I mean, neither of us have been in however many movies or
Yeah,
Marvel movies or anything. So,
yeah,
good
no,
for
no
him.
Marvel movies. Yeah, that's good.
Net worth? What? This says his net worth is approximately $5 million. There is no chance in
That's how he
hell.
gets into the movies. He pays for it. He came
Yeah.
into some money.
Maybe he is just like a weird, awkward millionaire and he just is like, hey, let me in.
What's up? He just
From our
shows up.
website, the TV Junkies, it just shows that same picture from the Marvel page, and it somehow shows his net worth is $5 million, but his all of his pictures him in the background of shit.
Oh, wait a minute. This says he's 5'8" in this, but on his IMDb, he's 6'5".
Wow. His zodiac sign will update soon. Don't worry. Girlfriend will update soon. Net worth approximately $5 million. There's no way.
He put that.
Therefore, he must be making a considerable amount of money. His principal source of earnings is his acting career, although he may also make revenue through ads and modeling assignments.
What are we talking about? This was written by a fucking AI.
However, we assume he enjoys a substantial monthly income based on his roles in blockbuster films such as Avengers Endgame and Jungle Cruise. Shut the fuck up.
My ass. Come defend yourself, Robert. Because I don't believe any of this.
Or fight us and winner gets your net worth.
Yeah. Ty, convince me to see Sanctuary.
Okay, I'll do that. Last week we had games with Billy, and this week we're just picking on Bobby.
Picking on Bobby. That's just every week. Yo, what's Robert doing this week? He's in this film? Dude, fuck that guy.
I will find his Twitter. I will find it.
He's out there on every social media.
Okay, so Sanctuary. It's one that's been on both of our lists, but neither of us made it to the theater to see. And it's finally able to stream, and I'm really glad that I did. So it follows the dominatrix and Hal, her wealthy client, and the disaster that ensues when Hal tries to end their relationship. So it stars Christopher Abbott and Margaret Qualley. So we know Christopher Abbott from Possessor, It Comes at Night, and The Sinner. All of it, it's like it kind of had the same vibe as those movies too to start out. A lot of his movies kind of feel the same, or he just plays like kind of a similar role in all of them.
Mm-hmm.
But then we know Margaret Qualley, who I think is really kind of like about to blow up. She's like on the come up here. From Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, The Nice Guys, which is one of my favorite and like most underrated movies, I think. And then the upcoming movie Drive Away Dolls we watched the trailer for. So it's currently 90% certified fresh by critics and 88% audience on Rotten Tomatoes with a 6.4 on IMDb. So let's get into it here. From the synopsis, I thought this movie was just going to be like about a dominatrix and her client, and then like shit gets weird or like a murder or something happens, something along those lines. And the first bit of the movie is all just kind of like a big like dominatrix act, but then it becomes like so much more, and I'm so glad it does. So it's like intense. It keeps you guessing on what is going on and who to believe is the truth or what's like an act. You don't know what's going on. There's some genuinely funny moments too, and it sort of becomes like a fucked up rom-com. And it's pretty much not like any other like rom-com type thing I've ever seen, like for sure. So really awesome score too. It's got a really old school like mystery vibe to it or something. Like they play kind of like an old school soundtrack in some parts. It seems like a throwback. It was really cool. I enjoyed that a lot. But all in all, I really, really ended up enjoying this movie quite a bit. I wish I could have seen it at the theaters because it was well worth the stream at home. It's definitely one of my favorites of the year so far, I think, and it's like definitely like a high 8, maybe a 9 out of 10. And when it's all said and done and our lists are finalized at the end of the year, it's going to be pretty high up there for me, I think.
Nice. And yeah, with that 8 rating, again, this is without my rating.
Mm-hmm.
It's currently sitting at number 5
Yeah, they're definitely one of my favorites for the year, and a surprise. Like we just said before we really got into it here, there's going to be those movies that pop up. They're like a pleasant surprise and ones we really like. This
Yeah.
was definitely one of them for me.
Where is it streaming to?
It's available to rent on Amazon and YouTube and all that, but
Yeah. Okay.
you know,
Cool.
yeah.
Yeah, I didn't. Yeah, no, good. Um, yeah, I wanted to watch it. It was one that I think we talked about before, and I just never got around to it. I feel like I watched a similar theme movie with that, Fresh. I just watched that one
Yeah,
about the
yeah.
cannibalism. But
Hmm.
yeah, cool. I will give that a go. And yeah, I forgot who Margaret Qualley was, and then I looked her up. I'm like, oh, she's the armpit hair girl.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah.
Yeah,
What's
okay.
her name in that? It's like Sunshine or some shit.
Pussycat.
Pussycat, that's it.
Yeah. Or wait, is it Pussycat or Pussy Doll? It's one of those.
I think
Pussycat.
it's
Pussycat.
yeah, yeah.
It might yeah. Only an hour and a half, Ty. That's pretty quick. Did it move quickly or was this
Yeah,
more
yeah. It
of a
wasn't
slower burn?
it kind of feels like a slow burn, but in a good way, like because you're kind of it keeps you guessing as to like
Hmm,
what it keeps you guessing, I'll say that, but then yeah, it doesn't feel like a long movie at all. It's really good pacing, all that. Especially for taking place pretty much in one place, the whole movie.
right.
Unlike what the hell was that one we watched earlier? Well, it's gonna drive me crazy. I have to look it up right now. Fret, reality.
Oh yeah, yeah, that wasn't good.
So much better than reality for
Okay,
taking
good.
place in like a singular setting.
Right. Cool. Yeah, I will definitely give that a go. The dominatrix bit sounded funny.
Yeah, like the
Uh
synopsis is like weird compared to what it actually ends up being.
yeah, I feel like there's some movies that you just kind of want to go in blind, and this might
Mhm.
be one of them.
Yeah, definitely. Because I think we mentioned it a long time ago in like upcoming movies. It got brought up. We were like, I have
Yeah.
no idea what this is. Sounds interesting, maybe, but I'm glad I watched it now. So it was cool.
Nice. Cool, cool. I will get that. That might be something I watch this weekend while I'm at home. After, well, I'm just seeing Barbie, but if I get to
Yeah,
see Oppenheimer, I'll watch that too.
yeah, definitely.
Cool,
It's a
cool.
solid one.
But Ty, now is the time to get into the meat of the episode. Movie we were both extremely excited for, hoping it would be one of the best of the year. And so let's do that. Let's do our Mission Impossible review. Um, Ty, let's go spoiler list first.
Yeah.
You also saw it first. You saw it the day it came out, which was a Tuesday, which is
So
interesting.
weird still to this day. So weird. I can't. It's like so funny. I can tell people I was the only person in the theater for Mission Impossible: Dead Reckoning.
Ty, give me, just take a minute, give spoiler list review, and then give me your rating.
So I'm excited to see yours because I don't think we really talked about it yet.
We
But
did not. I have stayed silent.
I'm curious now. So spoiler free, like I said, it's at like a 96% on Rotten Tomatoes right now, 95 critic and like 95 audience. Um, I thought all the new additions to the cast were awesome. Haley Atwell and Palm Clementia, yeah, Mantis. I thought they were awesome, great additions to the cast. They sometimes steal the show. Um, it has truly one of the most heart-pounding third acts in a movie I've seen. I think it's probably maybe yeah, I think definitely the funniest Mission Impossible movie. Um, Amazing stunts yet again by Tom Cruise, and for being a part one, it felt like a very complete and like standalone movie. They did an awesome job at that. Unlike Fast X, that trash cliffhanger where they're just standing in the middle of a dam and it explodes and that's the end of the movie. I guess then Gal Gadot shows up in a submarine, but that's not here or there. This they did a lot better than that, and they also did better than Spider Verse too, and not just ending on like just a complete cliffhanger. They kind of wrapped it up a little bit. You know what they're going to go and do now, but that's it. It wrapped up well. There wasn't very many scenes I didn't like at all, so I I don't really have anything bad to say about it. Maybe a couple things here and there, but I'll save that for spoilers. But yeah, I really liked it. It is my favorite movie of the year now, and I
Nice.
gave it like a 9.5.
9.5. So
So it's
Ty,
high 9.
with that rating, that would put it ahead of Guardians and would sit atop of our ratings at number one, depending on my rating. Uh, which it will not be taking the top spot ahead
Whoa.
of Guardians because of my rating bringing down the average. I really had to think about it. So I saw it at the theaters last night, so it's fresh in
Mhm.
my mind. I had to think about it on the way home. I ended up on when I walked out of there, I'm like, that was good. I gave it. I'm like, that's an 8. That's an 8
Mhm.
for me. As I was driving home, I was thinking about it a bit more. I ended up lowering my rating to a 7.
Wow.
So I agree with a lot of what you said. There were some bits that bothered me, maybe a little more than they should.
Mhm.
And I'm going to go spoiler list for the reasons why I did this. I wanted more character development of the
Mhm.
new editions. I
Mhm.
understand it's a two-parter, and then hey, maybe retrospectively, when part two comes out, everything I say is doesn't matter, and I'll go back and change my rating.
Mhm.
But like, I wasn't a fan of how Haley Atwell's character was brought in.
Mhm.
It felt forced in a way. I'll talk a little bit more about that in the spoilers, but
Mhm.
it didn't feel natural. For
Yeah.
she's just like, hey, what's up? I'm here. I'm like, what? Okay, cool. And the way they just kind of take her in as part of the gang, I was like, no,
Yeah.
that seems really weird. You're supposed to be this super secretive organization, and we're just bringing people in. That's not a spoiler. That's literally in the trailer,
Yeah.
and you should probably piece that together. But yeah, so that was the one thing that bothered me, and then there were two scenes that I will talk about in spoilers more that I thought lasted way too long.
Yeah. I think I know what you're gonna go with.
Yeah, and while if they were shorter, they were great scenes.
Mhm.
Um, but every time you think it's over, there was like another minute or two. I'm like, okay, come on, let's wrap this up. But yeah, I ended up with a 7. Again, like I was really teetering on that 8. I had to think about it a bit more, and honestly, there was a
Mhm.
review I read that summed up some of my thoughts
Mhm.
pretty well. So I'm just gonna read that real quick.
Yeah.
So he goes, I wish I loved this movie more than I did. And I felt the exact same way. Obviously, we talked about this.
Mhm.
We were super stoked for this movie.
Mhm.
Says, don't get me wrong, amazing action movie with jaw dropping stunts, some of the best in the series. Completely agree.
Mhm.
Um, but it was a step backward. I think Fallout is still
Fallout.
pinnacle.
I think Fallout is still pinnacle
Yeah,
Mission Impossible 2. I still like this one a lot. It's a high up there one, but I still think Fallout is just like the benchmark as
it
far as
was
like Mission
so
Impossible
good.
is now.
And I'm so happy also that that was on TV and I
Mhm.
watched it before I saw this one. Um, and then skipping over some of the this review, but characters I have grown to love over a decade of films felt sidelined, ignored, or wasted.
Pretty
Haley
much, yeah.
Atwell's new character chewed up most of the screen time, and while she was fantastic, I wanted to see more of the original team.
Mhm.
And yeah, that's kind of how I felt. I'm like, she just barged in here and she's taken up all this screen time, which I would be fine if she grew into it. But I'm I'm here to see Tom Cruise. I'm here to see Simon Pegg.
Yeah, Peg, yep.
Um,
Ving
I'm
Rhames,
here.
baby.
Ving Rhames, yeah, it's a big badass motherfucker. That's who I'm here to see. The original gang. Also, side note, I didn't expect fucking Dr. Gordon Carey Eels to be in it yet another movie this year, but here he was.
Yeah.
I don't. Is he in the other Mission Impossibles? I don't even remember him in those.
I'm
I
not
don't think he
sure.
was. I'm taking a quick gander. No, he wasn't. So yeah, he's just in everything this year.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's kind of where it fell flat for me. Um, Still, the action scenes them by themselves, you know, it's hard to beat. Those are
Hmm.
some really, really great scenes. Um, and I think what the other bit was that maybe go from an 8 to a 7 was comparing it to John Wick 4,
Hmm.
which I have rated as an 8. And I like John Wick 4 uh, better because the story was there with the action, it wasn't one or the other.
Hmm.
But yeah,
Yeah, it's
so
like
yeah,
John Wick 4 is definitely a lot more nonstop action.
yeah,
For an action movie, this one didn't really have that much like fighting, anything like that. It had a lot of stunts, some fighting and stuff. But I do think that after having seen part two, we'll probably look back at this one as like the ultimate like
agreed,
setup. That's usually
agreed.
how it goes. So like we saw Infinity War and we're like, holy shit, can't wait for Endgame. We saw Endgame, we're like, I actually like Infinity War just a tad more, I think.
Yeah,
So
100%.
but yeah, it's good. I'm glad that you don't think it's just as good as I do, but I do agree that Fallout is still like the pinnacle of the
Right.
franchise.
And that's where yeah, I'm really hoping that part two brings it all together.
I think it definitely will.
Yeah.
I we should we hop into spoilers?
Yeah, let's do it. So again, if you have not seen the film yet, it's still worth going to see in
Mhm.
theaters, very much so. It's a movie built for movie theaters. And
Absolutely.
did you get a little intro thing with the director and Tom Cruise where like we built this for you to go see in theaters? Did you get that little
Yeah,
intro?
yeah, it was
Yeah.
cool.
So they know that, and they know that like after COVID and everything, so many things just go right to streaming.
Hmm.
Um, this was built for the big screen, and it does feel like that. But yeah, head out if you do not want any spoilers, and we'll see you next time for Barbenheimer.
Barbenheimer.
I feel like I've said that a lot.
I can't quit saying it.
But yeah, Ty, let's hit up some of these spoilers here and get into it a bit more.
Yeah, let's do it. Starting off, I never knew that IMF stood for Impossible Mission Force.
I didn't either.
Like, do they ever
I'm like,
establish that, or
okay.
like is that like
They
a thing with the?
probably do. It's
Yeah,
just it's so brushed over that it
it
doesn't
had to have
stick in your
been.
head.
Yeah, it had to have been. I'll just go kind of down through the lines. I was taking notes as I watched the movie because I was the only person in the fucking theater.
Dude, I was packed in my theater. I was pissed. I'm like, go away. I want to watch this by myself. And then like, dude, okay, so I was texting Ty when I was there. I'm like, there are two girls in here that
Oh
do
yeah,
obviously do not want to be here. They came with part of their friend group and they're not even sitting with them. They're just somewhere else. And at the Alamo, it's assigned seats. And
yeah.
they were in my seat. One of them was in my seat. I'm like, sorry, this is my seat. And then the one like questioned it. She's like, what seat? I'm like, this one. And I like showed my ticket. I'm like, what were you gonna do when the guy came around and checked your ticket? Like you were
Yeah.
gonna move either way. So that's just stupid. And then they like ate their food and then left for like 20-30 minutes and came back. And I'm
So
like,
weird.
what? Someone could have had these seats and enjoyed the movie. Like, stay the fuck home.
Kids these
Like,
days, dude.
yeah,
Kids these fucking
I can't
days.
even call them kids. They were only like a few years younger than me.
Really?
Yeah,
Jeez.
I'm like I don't know, 25 ish,
Huh.
and I'm like, what are you doing? So
That's so
yeah,
weird.
and took like a FaceTime call in the middle of the trailers, and
Oh
like,
my gosh.
shut the fuck up.
That's the worst. I hate it when people don't silence their cell phones in movies, and I hate it whenever
Yeah,
they don't do that and their cell phone rings. Oh my god, drives me insane.
yeah. So, but to be fair, during the movie, they were fine. It
They're
was just
lucky.
like, what are you doing here? Like, it's obvious you don't want to be here. Like, you came because the friend group came, and it just, I don't know. I when I went to movies with a friend group, it was to see a movie.
Yeah.
It's like you can say no, and
Yeah. I
you're not even
definitely
sitting with them. So what's the point?
I feel your pain. Like I told you, I had to yell at like I didn't yell. I was like I had to tell a group of girls to like put their phones away whenever I was trying to watch Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. They
Yeah,
just had
what are
their
you
phone
doing?
on full brightness, like just texting or whatever the whole time. I'm like, dude, can you turn your fucking phone off? I didn't even say it
Yeah,
like that. I was like, hey, can you turn your phone off? And I think
yeah,
they like tried to take like pictures of me and shit and try to call me like a boomer and old and shit. But either way, like I was not gonna have them ruin my movie.
yeah. It's like you're paying for that experience. I had to do that. We were in Vegas. We saw Penn and Teller.
Mm.
And these two people next to me just would not shut the fuck up. And like people were like turning around, like getting annoyed. And
Hmm.
finally, I'm like, fuck it, I'll do it. I'm like, hey guys, can you be quiet? Like, no one wants to listen to you during a show. But I don't know. People are conceited for whatever reason. Um,
Yeah.
anyways, Mission Impossible. Yeah, had no idea that's what it stood for. It's a little corny that it's called that, the IMF.
Yeah.
But that hey, that's part of it.
That was like whenever the Family Guy bit, whenever like they say the name of the movie in the movie.
Yeah, well, they did that. They said Dead Reckoning in the first 5 minutes.
Yeah, yeah.
I was like, oh, there it is. You
I
know?
will say that I'm definitely not crazy about like the villain just being like a big AI thing. It's kind of corny.
Yeah, that
It's I see what they're doing. It's kind of cool. I do like that they're gonna have to go like off the grid in the next
yeah,
one. That's cool. But I just don't like that they were like, oh, it
it
knows
knows
every
everything.
outcome. That's just
Yeah,
like that's just exactly like fucking Endgame with Thanos and shit.
and see, I liked it felt like Westworld to me, and I
Yeah.
really enjoyed Westworld with they had a similar AI that could predict people's actions and stuff like that. And I'm
Hmm.
like, that's kind of neat. And but then I don't, and again, maybe this all gets tied together, but Gabriel, it's like, okay, why is Gabriel the chosen one? Why is the AI picked him to
Hmm.
be the guy? And at first I thought, I'm like, oh, Gabriel made the AI, and it's like, no, the government made it, and it just kind of went nuts.
Yeah, it is kind of weird how that like kind of went down. The beginning of the movie too, like submarines, like what a time right now to be a submarine guy.
Yeah. Yeah. Out in the Arctic. Yeah,
But
that
oh god.
I was just gonna say, I'm like, that was a neat scene.
I did like it,
I think
yeah.
so.
I was waiting to see like Ethan and the gang like be like in another submarine shooting that one down, but no,
Right.
it was just what is the AI's name? The
Oh God, they called it. It was something. The entity,
entity, that's it.
and I didn't like that name either. I'm like,
No.
okay,
I would
just
just rather that it be a guy, like a bad guy. Gabriel
yeah,
didn't really do it for me. That's one thing I didn't like. I just didn't like he was kind of just like there. Felt
yeah,
like.
and he's supposed to be the guy that what killed his wife or
Yeah.
girlfriend, something.
Yeah.
And like I couldn't remember. I'm like, did that happen in one of the movies, like the early ones?
Hmm.
Like it's been what 20 years or something since that.
Oh yeah.
And like I tried looking into it, and it doesn't. I could be wrong, but it doesn't look like it.
Unless that was
Like
just a like a throwback in this movie.
yeah, yeah.
It might
That's
have just been
that's
like
all
a
it was.
flashback. Oh, okay. Okay.
Because like I'm looking at Gabriel's IMDb, and uh Mission Impossible 1. Yeah, he's only in this one.
Oh, okay. Wow.
So yeah, I that confused me a little bit.
Yeah, me too.
Um, I feel like that wasn't necessary.
Yeah, probably not.
Other than it was only necessary because Ethan was like, okay, one of these girls is gonna die, and it's gonna piss me off again. At the same time, Haley Atwell literally just came in and he's like, I'm gonna make you choose. I'm like, I know you're not gonna choose, but the fact that like you're valuing them both the same is pissing me off.
Yeah. Yeah, that is kind of true. Like she kind of did just pop up and kind of just like I think Tom Cruise was like fuck, he's like swept away by her, like
Yeah,
or
yeah.
even in the movie's like holy shit, I'm in love. But yeah, he was because he did just kind of have to pick and choose between the two of them, and then she was just like there. I mean, don't get me wrong, I liked her character a lot though. So
Yeah, he I'm curious if she's more involved than we're led to believe. Like, I wouldn't be surprised if that's the twist.
that could be, yeah. I'm seeing. I'm also. I saw a theory that people don't think that Rebecca Ferguson's character is actually dead.
Yeah, I
Isla
would.
Fout.
I mean, they did that once already in the movie, right? Where she played dead for half a minute, and then he goes, "Stay dead," and then she shows up an hour later.
Yeah,
It's
like
like,
they show they kind of it's like for a very unceremonious death for her being like a part of the gang, you know?
yeah.
So maybe she'll show up in the second one.
And
I'm
it's
thinking
also
that's
like,
probably what would happen.
where's her body?
Yeah. He kind of just
And
it just kind of gets brushed under the rug real quick.
so the other thing with her is like, people were like, okay, if Haley Atwell's being kind of shoehorned in here, it feels, is it because Rebecca Ferguson wants to leave the series, or what's going on here? But yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if she's still around.
Yeah.
The I like Shea Wiggum,
Hmm.
but I felt like that whole thing was unnecessary too. It's like they were just there to be annoying. It's like, oh, we're also trying to catch
Yeah.
Ethan, but we're just some ragtag partner group that we're trying to bring him down. I don't care about the sake of the world. I'm just trying to get my guy.
Yeah.
And I'm
It was
like,
kind of annoying
all right,
switching to their perspective for a little bit. It's like I don't really give
yeah,
a shit about these two dudes.
yeah.
I
I'm
just
like, I
want
don't
to be
care.
with the gang the whole time. Or with
Uh,
I guess Gabe, but
so let's talk about the two scenes that dragged on way too long. Um, I'm a let. How about you guess? Because it sounds like you know.
are you gonna say the car scene, the car chase?
I am gonna say the car chase.
I loved the car chase.
I did.
I thought it
So
was
I did
awesome.
enjoy it too for a while. Once they got in the little car, I was cracking up. I'm like, this is great.
It was
And
funny.
then, like, I don't know how long that went for, but it was a long time. I'm like,
Hmm.
okay, I get it. I don't want to. I didn't hate it. It was just really, really long,
Hmm.
and um, it felt. I had flashbacks of uh I don't remember if it was The Last Jedi or what. One of the Star Wars movies, the newer ones, where I'm like, there's always been comedy in these movies, but some of it in this film felt a little more forced.
Hmm.
And that's kind of what the car scene, at least the last few minutes, felt like. Like originally, like I'm like, this is nuts. They're everyone's after them. They're driving around. For some reason, Haley Atwell's character can't drive worth a shit. I don't know
Yeah.
why, and then she just refuses to drive. Um, but yeah, that was one scene which was not as egregious as the second one, where the train is crashing,
I knew you
and
were
we
gonna say
had to
that. Yeah.
sit there for every train car to fall one by one as they climb up it. I'm like, okay, that's the last one, right? And then three more have to go. And I'm like, okay. And my final gripe, not with something that lasted too long, I'm a little upset with Mantis's character,
Paris.
Paris. First off, she was a badass at the very beginning. I'm like, this is
Absolute badass.
sick, hard as fuck. It was when they went to the Met Gala and she's dressed like Gerald Way from the Black Parade, My Chemical
Yeah.
Romance, where I'm like,
Yeah.
okay, what is she supposed to be? And then it kind of felt like they were making her out to be like a Joker, Harley Quinn type
Oh
deal.
yeah.
I'm like,
I didn't even think
okay,
about it like that. Hopefully
stop
not. Yeah.
it. And then just out of nowhere, Gabriel just fucking stabs her. Like, you were gonna betray me. I'm like,
Yeah.
what? What? Why was she gonna betray you? I'm like, now she is. You fucking stabbed her. And
Yeah.
then, of course, she does. She saves Ethan and Grace from the falling train cars, and seems like she's still alive.
Yeah. I
You
think
know,
so.
they were yelling about her having a pulse, but I wasn't a fan of her character very much.
I liked it a lot. I thought she did a pretty good job being like a silent badass. That tight alley scene where she's fighting with Tom Cruise. I thought
Agreed.
that was awesome.
It's
She
sick.
was running along the top of the train just like the rest of the guys. I thought she was
Mhm.
pretty cool.
So
Different
I
change of
like
pace
the
compared to that Gabriel for sure.
yeah, and I like, I don't know how to say this. I like the actions of her character because she was
Mhm.
hard as fuck. I don't like how they wrote her background background. I think that makes sense. Or like, man, how she is internally, because it's like, okay, Ethan spared her life, and
Mm-hmm.
then she's just like, I'm gonna stop being a bad guy now. I'm like, well, wait, why? And then Gabriel noticed the same thing. He's like, you were gonna betray me, and again, none of that was explained other than like the AI said so. It is written. It's like he's taking it as gospel.
Mm-hmm.
And maybe that's more of a problem with Gabriel than it is her.
Yeah, I think so too. Um, a couple other scenes here that I really loved. As soon as he gets on that motorcycle, you just know that it's fucking on.
Yeah.
So like, and it builds up 'cause he has to fucking drive it up that mountain. So it's building up for like 10 or so minutes. Him like just trying to find a way onto that train. He's just driving up that mountain, and
Yeah.
then he does the jump, and it's just like, holy shit, so
I'm a
cool.
I'm a big fan of all the like gadgetry,
Mm-hmm.
like the face mask maker thing. Like
That
that's
thing's great.
sick. And then
It always malfunctions in all of them
fucking
too
breaks.
now.
Yeah. Fucking Benji can't keep things working. I also thought like the real time face coverings for like when they were doing surveillance was really sweet.
Yeah.
They're like, "Oh, Ethan's over here." Just kidding, he's on the other side of the um, airport. That was really neat. Um, Honestly, every action scene was extremely well done.
Mm-hmm.
Two of them just went on too long, but the
Yeah.
fighting choreography, I mean, you know what you're gonna get when you have the guy who's done John Wick movies be part of the
Mm-hmm.
film.
I audibly said out loud, since I was the only one there, he crashes through the side of that train. Boom! I was like, holy shit!
It
Like
was.
I just completely didn't expect it at all.
Did they
It was
fucking rank the audio for your movie? Because mine was so goddamn loud when that happened.
I don't know. I think mine might have just been okay because I'm just so used to South Pike's sound being meh.
Sure. Yeah, it
I'm sure
was.
like at a normal theater it would have been like brr,
Oh
like
my
just completely like
God.
blown
It
out.
was cranked. Everyone jumped when it happened because it's so unexpected.
That's
And he
great.
just slams into it.
But then
Um,
like after that, and then like Gabe has that key, and then like I'm gonna keep comparing it to Endgame and Infinity War, but it's like Thanos with the fucking stones. You're like, shit, Gabe's got the key.
got the
Shit.
key.
You're waiting. I was waiting so much for there to be like just a cliffhanger. There really wasn't though. There wasn't like a
And
bad cliffhanger.
it kind of, yeah, there really wasn't a cliffhanger because they have the key.
Yeah,
They
he
know
had
where
the
to
key. That was
go.
fucking awesome. I did like that they kept doing like the sleight of hand and shit the whole movie.
Yeah.
That was cool.
So I guess the question now is, what happens in part two? Obviously, they're going to
There's
the
gonna be like a
submarine.
big fight for the sub, all that shit. They're gonna have to try to find the sub. Yeah. I don't
Yeah,
know. It's gotta be
it's
more than
just
just that.
exactly, and that's where I'm curious. I feel like maybe the government is going to be more involved than we
Mm-hmm.
think because Grace seems to be initiated onto the team
Mm-hmm.
officially at the end, and I'm also curious there. I mean, Tom Cruise is never going to stop, but I'm curious if that was maybe a handing of the torch
Yeah,
to
maybe.
her, for
I
when
thought she was
Tom does go
great.
away. Yeah.
I've heard rumblings that she would be Laura Croft in Tomb Raider.
That, yeah,
I
that's
wouldn't hate that one
fantastic.
bit.
Yeah, that's
I like her
fantastic.
a lot. I've only ever seen her in a few things, but she fucking stole the show in my opinion. I loved her character. I mean, she's a good looking lady, so that don't ever hurt anything.
I
I
like,
remembered her because she was like Peggy Carter in all the Captain Americas and
yeah,
stuff, and then she obviously gets her fucking neck snapped or whatever the hell in Doctor Strange.
yeah.
I can't remember how she dies in Doctor Strange, but she gets lit up.
Marvel one shot. Yeah, she's Peggy. What else has she really been in? Not a ton. Feels like most of her stuff is just being Peggy. Uh,
Peggy.
Christopher Robin. She was the wife. Oh, I forgot. I forgot about that movie. I don't know what the hell Peter Rabbit 2 is.
Chicken slash egg.
Chicken slash egg.
Agents
Uh,
of Shield. Yeah, really not. So,
not a
okay.
ton.
Black Mirror. That's cool. Yeah, not a ton of stuff.
The Duchess, I don't know what that is. She's the main person. No, Keira Knightley is.
Wow,
Gotcha.
yeah, she really hasn't been in a ton of stuff, so that's kind of cool that she got this, and that's gonna be
Yeah.
like a huge, like that's gonna be a huge boost to her career.
Yeah, and maybe that's the catapult.
I think it for sure. She's just
Yeah.
number two uh actress on IMDb right now.
Yeah, I'm curious to see how part two brings it all together. And I think once part two happens, I'll consider it basically like a
One
single
big movie.
film.
Yeah, yeah.
And maybe my rating changes. But there was just a lot left unexplained. But yeah, the biggest gripe was probably just like, hey, we're this super secret thing. Oh, we just met you because you tried stealing the key we were after. You want to join
Hmm.
our crew? I'm like, what? And that was all within like days of,
Yeah,
of meeting her. So, um, whatever. It's for the movie. It's fine. Um, again, action you can't compare very
yeah.
much. The only thing you do want to compare to is John Wick, and it's the fight scenes I would say are on par with John Wick. They're just not as drastic or lengthy. It's
Yeah,
not a
more
whole movie
graphic.
of fighting. Yeah,
Yeah, it's not as like violent, I would say,
yeah,
as John Wick. It's definitely it's close. I mean, I think it still is my favorite of the year so far.
yeah.
But I
Fair.
mean, until Oppenheimer, I think Oppenheimer's going to take it. Really do.
Yeah, Nolan. He might be my favorite director.
I think
Scorsese
so too.
obviously is up there too, but
Tarantino too, but it's like I think it's those are like the big three,
yeah,
especially for dudes our age.
yeah. Um, quick game with Billy. How
Oh
old's
boy,
Tom Cruise?
is he 60?
61.
Damn, I knew it. I thought so.
Yeah, July 3rd. So he just had his birthday not too long ago.
Isn't he in the movie called like Born on the 4th of July or something like
I
that?
just watched that actually last week.
He's born on the 3rd of July.
Yeah, he was born on the 3rd of July, but he was born on the 4th in that movie. That movie's just sad the entire way through.
I never watched it. I've always heard about it.
It I mean he's good in it. It's just there's a lot of people. Willem Dafoe, there's quite a handful of people in it.
Willem Dafoe rules. He's in
He's
everything.
fantastic. But yeah, it's just sad. It's about a dude who's like, I want to go to war in Vietnam. So he does, and then he loses his legs.
Oh,
And then it's just about that life, and it's not great for him.
damn.
But yeah, obviously he's great in everything. Um, yeah, so Barbenheimer next week. I think that wraps it up here. Anything else you want to say about this film?
It rules. Go see it in the theater. It's worth it. It's worth it. Even
Yeah,
though you weren't as high on me, you weren't as high on it as me. Seven's still pretty high.
yeah, I still agree. See it
7 out
in
of 10 is still a
theaters.
good movie.
Yes, absolutely. And that so let me tell you where that does put it. That puts it at 2.
Okay, I was gonna say it's gonna
So
be high.
yeah, it is tied with John Wick.
That's fair.
Yeah, I think that's fair.
Very fair. Because at one point
Oh,
that was our favorite movie of the year too. So
oh, it is also tied. It's a three-way tie. John Wick, Mission Impossible, and Spider-Verse.
oh, okay.
So I
All
think all of that.
debatably some of the best movies of the year. So
And I think, yeah, come the end of the year, we're going to be only one can remain, Ty. We need to pick a winner.
that's
But
true. It's gonna be a battle royale. I think mine's gonna
save.
be Barbie.
Yeah, it's very possible. I'm hoping that there's some just like random movie out there that just shocks us all,
Surely there will be.
kind of like everything everywhere.
Mm-hmm.
So we'll see. Barbie might be that movie. It's weird enough.
Oh, for sure.
But we'll call it there, Ty, and we'll be seeing. I'm not going to say it. We're going to be seeing Barbie and Oppenheimer. I didn't want to say the word I've been saying this whole episode. I wasn't going to do it again. But
Barbie.
Opp and Barbie, yeah. So we'll see those. We'll review those next week, and yeah, I think we hit the peak of the movie season.
I think so. I think this week and next week, those are going to be the two biggies.
So stay tuned, and we'll see everyone next week.
Peace.